Today we're going to talk about solving absolute value equations. So first up, let's just think back to like middle school. If I say something has an absolute value of 7, I'm asking what is the distance away from 0? So when we talk about absolute value, what we're actually saying is what is my distance from 0? Okay, so how far away is it from 0? How many spaces? So if I say there's an absolute value of 7, what numbers have an absolute value or distance from 0 of 7? Well, that would be -7 and +7. Both of these are 7 spaces away from 0, and so we would say that they both have an absolute value of +7. How many values do you have? You have 2, right? And so that means that you have 2 solutions. Okay. Okay, let's look at another one. If x is equal to -4, what are the possible values of x? So it's saying that the distance from 0 is -4 spaces. Well, do you measure distance with negatives? No, right? You measure distance only in positives, and so you would say that there is no number because you can't have a distance that is negative. So this is not possible. Why? Because the absolute value cannot be negative. Again, because when we're talking about absolute value, we're talking about what is my distance away from 0, and we wouldn't say you're like -5 feet 7 tall. That doesn't make any sense. You should always have a positive absolute value. Or your absolute value should always be equal to a positive number. We're going to be solving absolute value equations today. The first thing you should do is isolate the absolute value. The next thing you should do is create 2 equations, one positive, one negative, and then solve both of those equations. So in most cases, you're going to get 2 answers because, again, there are 2 numbers that could have an absolute value, like we saw in number 1, of 7. -7, +7, you have to account for those 2 cases. So what it's going to look like is you're going to have your absolute value equal or by itself, like ax plus b, for example, is equal to c. You then need to split it into 2 equations. This is my number it's equal to because I know that c value could be both negative and positive. I would say, I usually do the negative one on the left. ax plus b is equal to -c, and ax plus b is equal to +c. And then you solve both of those. Okay, let's get to some actual examples. Look at number 3. So we're saying, okay, well, what 2 numbers the absolute value is by itself? So what 2 numbers have an absolute value of 6? It'll be +6 and -6. So you're literally going to see me split it up into 2 equations. X minus 4 equals -6, and x minus 4 equals +6. And you solve both of these. So obviously I would add 4. That would get me -2. And if I add 4 on this one, I would get 10. Sometimes we write that as a comma list, -2, 10. But you do have 2 answers because 2 numbers, both -6 and +6, have a distance away from 0 of 6. This one is already isolated. Again, we're looking at this number, -5. So what 2 numbers or what numbers have an absolute value or distance from 0 of -5? Well, nothing. This is no solutions. Why? Because you cannot have absolute value equal to a negative. Cannot have absolute value equal to a negative because that would be saying you have a negative distance, and we all know in real life that's not possible. So no solutions. Okay, let's look at number 5. This absolute value is not isolated, so if you look at the first two, I'll highlight them. Here's my absolute value, x minus 4, 3x plus 1. Those were already alone. On this one, you can see the 3x plus 9. On that left side, you also have that minus 7. So you have to get the absolute value completely isolated first. Get it alone. So we will add 7 first to the other side to get that absolute value isolated. So that would be 3x plus 9 is equal to 3. Now you look at your absolute value. Okay, it's 3. What two numbers have an absolute value of 3? Well, that would be negative 3 and positive 3. So you split that into two cases. 3x plus 9 equals negative 3. And 3x plus 9 equals positive 3. Okay, and we solve both of those. So we would, with the one on the left first, I'd subtract 9. That would give me negative 12. And if I divide by 3, I have negative 4. Same thing over here. Subtract 9. And then divide by 3. Ta-da! Okay. Look at your absolute value. Is it isolated? No, because there's a 4 out in front. Remember, in math, when we have things side by side, that means that they are multiplied. So you need to divide to undo it. So we'll divide by 4 first. That would get me the absolute value of 2x plus 7 is equal to now 4. Now my absolute value is alone. It's equal to a positive. What two numbers have an absolute value of 4? Negative 4 and positive 4. So split it into your two cases. 2x plus 7 equals negative 4. And 2x plus 7 equals positive 4. A common mistake I see is that my students try and switch the signs on like what's inside of the absolute value. This stays completely the same. It's what's after the equal sign that changes, okay? So 2x, this would be, subtract 7, negative 11. Divide by 2. Okay, when it's something like this, it's going to turn out to be a fraction. I'm going to show my work. I divide by 2. If you show the steps, you're less likely to make a silly mistake here. The 11 goes over the 2. If you type it in your calculator and get a decimal, I want you to change it back to a fraction and leave it as a fraction. It's negative 11 halves. Okay, so on this one, again, I subtract 7. I get negative 3. This one will end up being a fraction when I'm done. So show the division so that way you know which number goes on the top for the fraction. It's negative 3 over 2. Two more. You're doing great. Number 7, is the absolute value alone or isolated on that left side? Absolutely not. You cannot combine like terms for 9 and 4 because the 4 is attached to the absolute value. You need to get rid of the 9 first. This is, when we solve equations, order of operations is done backwards. So we will subtract the 9 first because that's like having addition out in front. That now gives me negative 4 times the absolute value of x plus 10 equals, one second, negative 24. Your absolute value is still not alone because of that negative 4 that's multiplied out in front of it. So you need to go ahead and divide the negative 4, which gets you down to absolute value of x plus 10 is equal to positive 6. This number right here, both negative 6 and positive 6 have an absolute value of 6. And it's good to just make sure, like, is that number positive? Because if it was negative right now, I would stop and say no solutions. But because it's positive, I'm going to keep going. X plus 10 equals then negative 6. And x plus 10 equals positive 6. Solve both of those. I would subtract 10 on both, so I get negative 16. and -4. Here, last problem, how many solutions would you have for the following and why? Is the absolute value isolated? Yes, so there's nothing to do here. I look at the number after the equal sign, it's a 0. Well, that's not positive or negative, it's 0. So we're asking, well, what numbers have a distance away from 0 of 0? Only one, right? 0 itself. So you can't do like negative, positive 0. So because it's 0, there is no negative 0. That's not a thing. So there's going to be only one solution. Okay? So we would just go straight away and set it equal to 0. And we would add 5. And divide by 14. Again, maybe show that step so you can see what the fraction would turn out to be. X is equal to 5 over 14. If you put it in your calculator, you notice it's not going to divide evenly. Leave it as a fraction. Don't give it to me as a decimal. Here in Algebra 2, we always leave it in a fraction unless it's like a word problem, okay? That's all, folks. Thank you.